want to talk about 3 things, maybe 2, maybe one will be in a different video. So here we go. I need an assistant so badly, just so that I can have some kind of consistent audio, visual, lighting effects. All the responsibility is just, I am failing. Maybe because of the wine, I don't know. Sketchy bacon audio, shifting in, shifting out, just to make it more fun. Here we go. If you remember from my last video, I was talking about diverging angles towards the sun and converging angles towards the sun. So one of the points from my last video is that in the model, I had used a hand-drawn curve to show that there's divergence, convergence, and then some people came back saying, well, actually it's not diverging, it's an 89.998 degree angle, and so that does lead to convergence at 93 million miles away. Now, I think that this is actually possibly how they came up with this extremely large number of the sun being 93 million miles away. This is why I think it's wrong. The person in Macapá, Malabo, they're looking at the sun at a 60-degree angle, so that gives you an idea of how much space the sun would fit into if it had 60 degrees of an angle in the corner. But now, at the 93 million miles away location, the sun has to fit into the 0.00244 degree of an angle. It has to fit inside that little corner. Otherwise, then we don't see what we see. Problem number 1. I took my little circle making little technique machine device. You put the pencil in it and then you poke the middle of the paper. In this case, poke the middle of the whiteboard. This is without damaging it too badly. I made the circle. The Earth, according to NASA and Neil deGrasse Tyson and a lot of people from in the 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, and now the 2000s, all these people are telling us that the Earth is not a perfect circle. It's an oblate spheroid. An oblate spheroid means that it's kind of, well, Neil deGrasse Tyson says pear-shaped. It's smushed at the top a little bit, and then then it's fatter in the middle. It's kind of a sphere that's turning into a donut slowly. And so it's not a circle for our math. A lot of the comments that I've been getting saying, oh, you're wrong because the angles are not divergent. They converge at 93 million miles away because the angle is 89.998. And I cannot. The fact that NASA and all the science websites, Wikipedia, all the other science peoples and places say that the Earth is not a perfect sphere. Now they're saying it's kind of pear-shaped. It actually makes the problem with the converging and diverging angles to the sun worse. If you're on the part of the Earth that is more just fatter, your 60 degrees chunk of the Earth is going to be shaped differently. The arc is going to be shaped differently. So if you're thinking of it as slightly pear-shaped, if you're closer to the top of the pear, then your angle of the curve of the Earth is going to be different than the angle of the curve in the bottom part of the pear. The difference between perfectly spherical and oblate spheroid pear-shaped, apparently they tell us, is 0.3%. If you give me $100 and after a year I give you back 0.3%, then here's 30 cents. Just Merry Christmas. You can't even buy a peppermint mocha from Starbucks with 30 cents. But if Hillary Clinton gives me her cash assets from 2014, this would be $25 million, and then at the end of the year I give her back 0.3%, then I'm giving her back $75,000. You can buy a lot of peppermint mochas with $75,000. You could even buy a nice Jaguar car to put the peppermint mochas in to drive them home. I like the Jaguars. This cat, this mirror. It's kind of a car. And also they're kind of pretty lines. Okay, back to the topic. In some places, that angle, if it's off by 0.3%, oh, that means it's not going to converge. Then you have divergent lines like we talked about last time, and then you end up with two suns on different places of the Earth where the 0.3% is under the 89.99866. Then that's very different. Tells us that there's something wrong with the idea of the sun being 93 million miles away from a pear-shaped Earth. If you want to tell me that the Earth is perfectly spherical, then yes, then the calculation will give you 93 million miles, but then you have to fit the sun into this itty-bitty corner, little just 0.0244, just a little tiny angle, and then you have to somehow just push the sun into that corner in order for your triangle calculation, 93 million miles, to work. Oh, I'm getting all riled up. Moral of the story: be careful when buying products on Amazon that you don't get counterfeits that don't work. And then leave you frustrated because you keep having to get up from your bed to restart the video because your camera keeps overheating.